It is race season, people. Well, not for me. It's the Isle Man TT week. I don't have the balls to ride on that. But that is the inspiration of today's video, is all about bikes. I know we've been kind of missing out on a lot of stuff with the Mustang and what's been going on there, and we just covered the details of the new $100 car. But today we are talking solely about this thing. So if you're not a big bike content person, I'm sorry. I was hoping by the time I get back we could start on this full project. Now if you've been out of the loop and have no idea what's been going on exactly with the ZX-6R, I crashed a little over a month ago, and unfortunately I did do some damage to the bike, but it kind of works out because we're actually doing some really cool stuff with it, including an entire new fairing kit and trying to shave off around 70 pounds off the bike with a lot of carbon fiber parts. And I was hoping all of them would be here by now, but I'm sad to say nothing has shown up yet.
I made an obstacle course in my front yard for my delivery men.
But I leave to go back home to Florida in literally 2 days. So this project won't be done this time around, but I will be back in Virginia within a month. And if you are confused as to why my motorcycle is in Virginia and not in Florida, it's because I live in a place with an HOA that does not allow motorcycles like this to be kept there.
I was elected president of the Riverside Homeowners Association.
So in the meantime, it's been staying in Virginia, but we did find a solution, and this bike will be down there in September once the carbon fiber build is fully done. But on the subject of carbon fiber, there is a lot of debate of cost of owning a motorcycle, why I chose a 600, and a bunch more. So we're gonna go over all of that. We just gotta get this bike out of this garage door. So let's go do that. It's probably easier if I just did a side stand spin, but I felt like that would have been too much work for this. Now we're ready. Now this bike hasn't been started in a few days, so I'm assuming it's going to be a little bit of an angry cold start. Just a tad bit. My brother's neighbors probably hate me, but it's fine. I don't live here anymore. Let's roll, baby. Every time I get on this thing, I completely forget how loud this bike actually is. I'm at second gear, 4,000 RPM, and I can barely hear myself think. This is fantastic. Now, I'm not one of those people that's like, loud pipes save lives. I just do it because it's fun. I don't actually know the statistics if loud pipes actually do save lives or not. Oh, I can't wait to have this thing in fucking Florida. It's gonna be phenomenal. Oh, baby. God, I love this bike. All right, so the most important thing that I wanted to talk about today that I get asked all the time is why I didn't buy a 1000. I bought this bike back in November, and ever since then I have been asked the same question over and over again. Why'd you get a 600 instead of a 1000? There's two main reasons. I'm not a big fan of doing straight line pulls, essentially. I do enjoy a little bit of straight line stuff. I like the power of a 600, and I felt like a 1000 for street was just unnecessary for what I wanted the bike for, which is going to be cornering and track stuff, which a 600 was plenty for that. And two, which is probably another very obvious reason, cause I'm all out of money! 1000s are ridiculously expensive compared to 600. The price of the bike itself, not awfully different. Now the cost of insurance, whoa, it is quite the jump. For both bikes to be able to just kind of, yeah, 1000 on a straight line easily smokes this. Around a windy track, this is most likely going to be faster. It comes down to the rider at that point. Two equal riders, weight-wise, 600 is going to be a little quicker. That's why I've always been a big advocate for people starting on smaller displacement bikes, because you can really learn how to throw a corner on a 400 way easier than you could on a 600 and become a much better rider a lot quicker. Ooh, that ain't good. Now, overall cost of owning a motorcycle, it's going to be expensive either way. It's just how expensive do you want it? And one of the biggest costs with just owning a motorcycle in general is gear, which gear obviously can get very, very expensive. I'm not wearing much gear right now. I'm wearing a $40 hoodie that you can get at ZX-6R, a set of gloves, and a helmet. Am I a smart rider? Absolutely not. But if you want to ride properly, which I highly recommend you do, invest in a good jacket, pants, gloves, all of that nonsense, which can total up well over $1,000. Now, if you want to get into actual racing and not just being a street moron like myself, then you got to incorporate track braces and all that fun stuff. But you'll figure that out as you kind of go along. Now, I've talked with a few of you guys who are actually getting into motorcycles in the first place, and like I've said countless times already in this vehicle, don't start on a 600 if you plan on trying to learn how to corner really well. But if you want to just do street stuff, pulls, and that kind of nonsense, yeah, it's your call at that point. But if you want to really get good at cornering, definitely start on a lower displacement bike. Whoa, the hell just happened? I feel like this bike has been acting weird. I think I f***ed up installing the shifter the last time, and whatever. Whee! I hate hitting traffic on this road because it is literally the perfect road to do the speed limit on. There is a nice Camaro behind me though. But definitely let me know in the comment section below what you guys want to see me do with this bike once it's down in Florida. Do you want to see me do track days with it? Do you want to see big group rides, having fun? Hopefully not ending up like Jixerbra. I've been missing this thing so much and I want to do so much with it. And if you live in Florida, specifically on the southeast side, and you want to ride, let me know. The little pops on this thing sound so phenomenal. Ever since I took the baffle out, which is kind of a Gixxer activity, I'm not gonna lie, but I've loved the sound of this. I definitely want to switch to a full exhaust system, which will also lighten the bike up even further from the 60-70 pounds that we're planning on shaving off with a lot of the carbon parts. Oh, the downshifts in this sound so fucking good. I still like the sound of the R1 just a tiny bit better. I know that's a little cliche. Fucking love those bikes. Ooh, a biker friend. Oh, it's a Harley. Does he wave back? No. Oh, what a beautiful day. Let's see what we can find on the street. I fucking love this thing. I missed it so much. I'm so pissed that I don't have it in Florida. It's so depressing. I mean, this time of year, it doesn't really matter because it's like 200 degrees back home, but...
Heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. What is that? 101,105.
During the winter time, when it's like 75 and sunny, oh, it's gonna be so nice. Another biker friend. Hello. Yay, I got a wave back. What a perfect day out. I am so not excited to head back home, dude. 98 degrees and sweltering. Can I merge into here? Thank you. I'm gonna sneak into here because I'm probably gonna beat these people off the line. Yoop. One thing I find interesting is lane filtering in almost all states besides California is illegal, which I really hope they make it legal in most states. But with that said, it makes it kind of difficult because then you have to make lane splitting legal. And if you don't know, lane filtering is when a motorcycle makes his way to the front of the line at a traffic light, which, believe it or not, is actually safer, so we don't get rear-ended and then sandwiched to the car in front of us, and it clears up the flow of traffic. But then you also have people that would abuse it and just be weaving in between cars on the white line on a moving highway, which I'm not really for that. Not something I personally would do because, number one, I don't have the balls and don't want to get a ticket. Number two, I also just don't want to die, so there's that. Oh, friend. Hello. Man, this Mitsubishi is zooming and it's not leaking oil. That's amazing. I'm now realizing I forgot my earplugs. That's gonna suck later, but we're fine. Oh God, I hate the smell of manure. We're passing the cow pasture. That is stinky. God, I am losing my hearing from this ride. I really should have put in earplugs. That was my own stupidity. Oh, I'm sitting on my nuts again. If you missed the video and the explanation as to why I crashed this bike, it was because I was sitting on my nuts and I pulled over to readjust. I pulled into a literal like gravel hole, but I'm almost home this time, so it's I'm at least pulling into asphalt. I hate going like this, not the speed limit, that sounds bad. I hate going in a 25 zone on this bike because a lot of the cooling for this bike is done via air. So when you're going under a certain speed, it just heats up like crazy. And my legs are cooking like bacon. Ah, and we made it back. Bring this thing back in. I am sweating up a storm. Dear God. Whew. Okay.
You don't realize how much of a workout it is to ride those bikes for anything longer than like 30-40 minutes. It is exhausting, but it is still like the most fun form of transportation you can have. But I'm glad we got to take this thing out today, at least a little bit, because I've been wanting to run that thing for quite a while. Our plan right now isn't to bring that bike back to Florida, or to Florida in the first place, until September. So I need to keep this thing running alongside the $100 car that's sitting outside the garage door, because that car will just randomly die at random times.
Thank you so much.
And we aren't filming with that until July, so we got to keep on top of that. Now, I wanted to take that sweatshirt off before I had like a heat stroke, but if you stayed this long in today's video, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. And hopefully next time we're with this bike, we'll be tearing it apart and getting all the carbon put on it. But anyways, love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
You feel alive, let's hit the dance floor. Don't work too hard, might break a backbone. Return of the Mac, the king is back though. Corvette and cash, I never lack those. She saw the stone, you know